And our discussions are going to be entirely on trade negotiations and how important these ones are for a developing country like ours, Uganda. Barija Andrew is on ground and we can definitely get right onto him. Barija Andrew, how are you doing? Can you please step this away?
Thank you very much, Jerome Paul Sonko, and good morning once again. And today we are talking trade negotiations. Yes, seeing how the government can actually get Ugandans favorable trade deals out there. And of course, this follows recently when Kenya filed off its first consignment, that's to China. Yes, that was avocados, of course, and the question is, can the government of Uganda negotiate such similar deals to Ugandans? And today I'm joined with a gentleman. He's called Mr. Muzamil Kwebiha. He's the spokesperson for the Kampala Cadres Advocacy Forum, and we are going to be shedding a light. What does this mean to the traders? And of course, what we see from the Kenya exporting to China, what does it call for Ugandan traders, and also examining more opportunities that actually Uganda can have when it goes through favorable trade negotiations. And with me, I'm going to get in touch with him just right now. And of course, these are people that we bring you that share these matters. These are people you'll always see as we articulate the matters of national economy. And Mr. Muzamil, good morning.
Yes, morning. It's good to be on 24 Smart. My name is Kwebiha Muzamil Abwoli, Public Relations CAFO, Kampala Cadres Advocacy Firm, Traders Firm, that is in the lead of driving the right policies as trade is concerned and the economy at large.
So let's look at the recent China. That's Kenya sending off its first consignment. That's to China. That was avocado. What does this mean to the Ugandan business traders? The question was, can government negotiate such deals to Ugandans?
Well, I think it's overdue for a reason that we've dealt with China for a very long time, and they are highly benefiting from this economy more than we are benefiting from them. Yes, they've been there into trade and all that, importing their commodities within this country. But I think it's the right time, as Kenya did, at negotiating trade deals like of importing the agricultural products. Just on 5th August 2022, this year, they imported avocado. That is a 44.26 million kilograms, which was worth 6.09 billion Kenyan shillings. And if you turn them in dollars, it's just 51.8 million USA dollar, and a consignment of just within 6 months. So it's really very big as we see Kenya, entering into a high benefit, economic benefits with the relationship as in Kenya and China. So therefore, I think Ugandans and the Ugandan government should be at the forefront to export, to negotiate such deals that we are benefiting. Right now, we say that Uganda is an agricultural hub, but how much are we benefiting from this kind of a tale? Are we going to remain that it is a Pearl of Africa, a food hub, a global food hub, blah, 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 and all that? How much are we benefiting from it? And I think if we've got the best soils, if we've got the best fresh foods, then it's right time that we also come on board. If Kenya has gone levels of importing food from Uganda, because literally that's what we import, that's what we export in Kenya, and then Kenya usually sends to us value-added products, manufactured products. This is the right time that if we have a food hub, then China with a 1.4 billion people, then it's the right time that we start feeding them. Yes.
So now let's take a look. What does this mean to the traders? Let's look at the positioning. It's very, very important now because we are trying to put this to a local trader. Let's look at the positioning. in case such deals are put in place? What do they mean to the traders?
Well, I think to the traders, they need to change their direction, because like if you're a trader that has been importing commodities from China, you've been into fabrics, in textile, and importing other products that are competing with the locally manufactured products. It's right time that you really change the dimensions. It's right time that you go in China, probably discover other ventures whereby, like if you've been importing, that this time round you start exporting Ugandan products. More so, we are realizing that China is so much interested in the agricultural products, and they are at a flood in Uganda. So therefore, you start also making your own research as a trader. You've been into trade, importing Chinese shirts into this country. You've been importing Chinese fabrics into this country. But have you ever thought, as you a local trader, of like exporting commodities from Uganda? Yes, you may fail to export a Ugandan shirt to China because the parameters may be so hard. But discover, what do Chinese want from Uganda? If they want Kenyan avocado, if they really want Kenyan fish, what's the difference between the Kenyan avocado and the Ugandan avocado? That means we can start from there. That at an individual level, we've seen certain people that have discovered ventures. I've been at the airport, Entebbe airport, seeing individuals exporting.
All right, as we are trying to get back to Baridi Andrew on the matters to do with more of trade negotiations. Now, I was mentioning about for any country to participate effectively in trade negotiations, it needs to have sufficient numbers of technically trained members of staff and capable negotiators or the middlemen. Now, recently, we saw Kenya flagging off its first ever consignment of fresh avocados to China. The question is our government negotiating such deals for Ugandans too? Because we've been able to see our Ugandan government coming out and going abroad to sign deals with different able investors. We've looked at foreign investors from different countries in the Middle East and also countries from the European continent. And then the question has always been, is the government negotiating these deals for the private sector players here in the country, or is it not going to benefit any of the Ugandans? Because when such deals are signed, we expect to benefit in the long run as Ugandans, and it's something that any other trader or any other local person in Uganda would want to experience. That situation where your government goes out, signs a deal, and you're going to benefit from it. The memorandums of understanding that have actually been signed for the past years in Uganda, you can easily see that most of them have been signed between Uganda and foreign-based countries. And in here, foreign investors have been able to showcase what they can offer to the Ugandan individuals or to the Ugandan people. And little do we know how this is going to benefit us. Now, from the local perspective, we've been able to also realize how important this is for our traders, more especially the trader community. The small and medium-sized enterprises in Uganda would definitely want to have investors that come in and support the growth of their businesses. These deals that come out help create market for our manufactured goods here. The locally manufactured goods in the country are quite many, but the market space for them is limited away from Uganda. Even in Uganda, the competition is stiff because they have to compete with goods that have been imported into the country. Some of the reasons is citing quality, and then most of the Ugandans do not definitely go in for their goods. But looking at trade negotiations, most of these ones, we want the government to at least work on these deals as well to ensure that our local traders or the trader community in Uganda or our local manufacturers can also benefit from such deals. Such deals will benefit not only the agricultural sector but also the manufacturing sector in one way or the other, because in here you're looking at our value chains adding up, the increase in our exports also going higher, and this benefits almost anybody out there. And in the long run you get to realize how important this is and how important it is, especially for those who are engaged in trading, manufacturing, and exporting in Uganda. So the trade negotiations normally happen during times of summits, during times of business expos. This is where government openly negotiates. The others are behind closed doors, and you only get to realize when a memorandum of understanding or a deal has been sealed. But then the others that normally come through summits and expos or exhibitions, international exhibitions, these are the ones that actually attract a lot of investors from different countries. And once these investors come through, government tends to negotiate with them, cut deals here and there, and after these deals are signed, it is to benefit one or two of the things. It's a one-way, it's a win-win situation, 50% for the Ugandan, 50% for the local traders, and that is exactly where the trade negotiations come through. But for any country to participate effectively in trade negotiations, it needs to have sufficient numbers of technically trained members and negotiators, the middlemen, people who can execute a deal that is not only going to be beneficial to them, but also beneficial to the entire country. Now, for example, as Uganda, we are in the post-COVID-19 recovery, and you can only feel that the best way for us to get to recovery mode is when such trade negotiations come to pass. We need to seal deals with different countries from Kenya, South Sudan, Rwanda, the DRC, the African countries, that is from the West African perspective also. And then also we have to look at the Middle East, look at countries like Dubai, rather the countries like the United Arab Emirates. Dubai is a city in there. But when you look at countries like Qatar, look at Saudi Arabia, look at countries like India, then you also go into the European Union. We've got all these markets in there. Turkey, an available market for Uganda. We've got countries in Asia, Japan and China and all that. If we can utilize such spaces, then we can seal these trade deals, and in the long run, trust me, we can ably have market for our locally manufactured goods and also market for our agricultural produce. And in the long run, our farmers or any other local trader will benefit of this particular one. That is why we're asking a bigger question here. Does the government in any way negotiate such deals for Ugandans? Just recently, because Kenya flagged off its first ever consignment of fresh avocados to China, so Kenya having market in China of avocados. But we also have people here who are actually dealing in avocados. We've got people dealing in various agriculture products in there. If at all we get consignments or we sign deals with different countries where we can definitely have a target market. Just recently here last year, we had Zambia being able to receive powdered milk from Uganda. Such trade negotiations do benefit not only the micro enterprises, but also the small scale enterprises, or the little, or those that is at the less scale farmers in there, the small scale farmers, small scale entrepreneurs. And in the other way, we're giving them chance to expand, a chance to grow bigger, and a chance to see that their businesses develop higher and higher, to go beyond the borders of Uganda, to cross over and clearly tap into various markets as they happen. So that has been our big topic in here on the Smb On Ground. Got some issues with technicalities, but surely we've got at least a pitch of it in 5 or 8 minutes in there, and you've definitely got to realize how important this is for the trader community in the country on the issue of trade negotiations. All right, now breaking it down for you in regards to what we've been having in the Smb this morning. We started with the news recap at 7 a.m. with Barija Andrew, looked at escalating seed prices, big story in there, the issue to do with trade negotiations, another one which we've been having here, and also the issue of the national content plan and the UDB's move to boost small and medium-sized enterprises. Then later on, we had the press review and reviewed some of the top stories, and one of those was the fact that police is going to start today to fine and arrest those who are defying paying for the tolls at the Entebbe Express Highway. And also we looked at the SNB International News, where we had Zimbabwe. Inflation is still biting, and this time around the citizens in Zimbabwe are facing it rough. Then US and Taiwan have signed bilateral trade relations, and this one is actually to boost trade between the two countries. And then also the Kenya Revenue Authority won a case between them and SportPesa. Then in our coffee call discussions this morning, we looked at the real estate sector, where we got to realize that in the real estate business, condominiums are looked at as one of the opportunities of the growth of the sector, simply because urbanization is taking over in Uganda. And then also with our SMB topic of discussion, we looked at the children budget allocations for this financial year, the challenges they are facing, and why isn't the government considering them to get an independent budget allocation. Those were some of the discussions we've been having this morning. And on ground, we went on to discuss trade negotiations. Only network issues have distanced us from completing that discussion, but I hope you've got a little bit of the insightful discussions at the beginning of it all. I'm Joan Paul Sonko in here for Smart Means Business, but you can as well follow us on our socials, Twitter, Smart24TV, and you can engage in our various discussions regarding business. And then our website is www.smart24.tv for more reports, dialogues in regards to business, and also get into our YouTube channel for any missed update or news story in there, or any program that is Smart24 TV Live. And if you've not subscribed, please give us a subscription in there as we grow bigger to drive your business. We are on DSTV channel 372 and GoTV channel 394, driving your business 24/7. I'm Jerome Paul Sonko on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Well, that brings us to the end of Smart Means Business today, Monday, 22nd of August 2022. I wish you a lovely week ahead, and I hope that you can make more money this new week. As we're heading up, we're actually saying goodbye to the month of August, but clearly it is a new month that is actually coming in of September. As we're saying goodbye to the month of August, we have to prepare for the month of September and see how best we can go beyond driving business. Have a